Welcome to another episode of To The Root Podcast. My name is Bo Matthews, and we have a great show for you planned out, and you never know what else is going to come up too. But let's welcome into the show Julie Strautman and Mr. Pasiglia, Chris Pasiglia. Welcome, guys.
Yes, we have the big boss today.
Yes. Hi, Bo. Hi, Julie.
And very important. By the way, for those of you that saw the first episode, we had so much fun doing it. We learned a lot. We cuddled. It was okay. But most importantly, we hope to improve each time so you can get a lot out of these podcasts. And of course, we want you to like it and share it to your platforms if you get something out of it. And today, we're actually going to be talking about lighting, landscape lighting, which is very important.
Yes.
And that's why we have Chris. Chris, how are you?
I'm doing great, Bo. Thank you so much.
Is this a big portion of your company?
It is. Landscape lighting is, you put so much effort into a beautiful landscape and design and to try and accentuate the house and make it beautiful.
It brings a character out.
It
just really
it does, and
makes the house come alive, the landscape come alive.
I'm talking landscaping in general.
Yeah.
So that's what you spend all your time putting the plants together, the hardscape elements, everything, and then why not enjoy it at night? It just adds a whole other element.
Absolutely. I think there's a special pride, too, as you pull up to your house, maybe after a date with your wife or your family or out, and you pull up, and that's your place that you've worked so hard for. And it's really, when you have a company like Pasiglia, it's going to make it really easy for you.
Well, and, the increased value of your home, just having the lighting there is, what do they say, 70% of what you've put into your lighting, you can recoup that if you sell your home
easily. Easily.
So
it makes such a big difference.
Yeah.
You can tell the properties that don't have it, and,
right.
And you come up on one that's done properly, and that's the key. Because there's a lot of landscape lighting that you come upon, and there's hot spots on the house. It's even happened on our projects. You come up and it's not, the lights haven't been adjusted correctly, and you got to go back out and readjust them.
And sometimes it takes a few times to get them just right. And then as the landscape grows, it kind of, you have to go out and adjust it again to spotlight the right thing.
Right.
So is it the chicken or the egg that came first? Do you do the landscaping and the plants first? Or do you do the lighting? Well, I guess you'd have to do the landscaping first, right?
Yeah, you have to be really good to do the lighting first and then do the landscaping. You have to put the landscape in, so you obviously have your architectural points on the house that you want to maybe highlight, and of course maybe throw some silhouettes or some nice lighting around specimen trees, things
Absolutely.
like that.
Yeah. So, and just the value of that, not only in the monetary value, but just the value of having a light shine on your property.
Oh, the perceived value.
Oh my gosh. Yes. It's just, and when you go in a neighborhood, especially in the evenings, you go in the neighborhood and you have 3 houses on the same street that have lighting, and then you have 7 that are dark.
Right.
It
makes a difference.
Makes the ones that have the lighing
and
really stand out.
I look at that as an opportunity. Right?
There you go. I'll put a flyer on their doors tomorrow.
People do think about what's the return on an investment. New bathroom, new kitchen, new lighting on your landscaping. That's an important number to remember. But again, you're going to be able to enjoy it for a long time. But when it does come to resale, it literally adds 5 to 10% onto the cost of your home, because can you imagine pictures in the MLS listing of nighttime pictures?
Right.
Yeah.
And you guys do that.
Yes. Yeah, especially around, there's so much emphasis on the backyards now, and with pools, obviously, and cabanas and pathways, patios, to do the hardscape lighting within those elements to accentuate the investment that you put into that, and and bring that to life at night. It's key.
Even in the winter.
Yes, winter even especially. That's
my gosh, beautiful in the winter.
Yes, yeah.
So I have a few LED light systems in my home. A question driving here today was, does this mean you don't have to necessarily hang lights for the holidays? Can you turn the colors of the lights of your landscaping to the reds and the greens of maybe Christmas?
There is some lighting out there now that does that. I don't know that we've done that yet.
Well, we do, but I personally, there's the inline lighting that you put in the eaves, which I like. We don't do that, but I just feel that it's, I don't know. Christmas lights are for Christmas lights, and,
well, you change them out for those holidays.
Yes,
you can change them out, the color of the bulbs or the screen that you put on them.
Right.
But there's so many different kinds. And then the timers,
Yes.
so you can, and I thought I even saw one just recently where you can switch the lighting from the control.
Yes.
The color from the control.
Yeah, that was my question.
Yeah, so that's a newer thing that's come out, and so it'll be researched more now.
Yes. Yeah.
But just that changing from season to season, your colors from here, winter colors.
Are there different tones of white light?
Yes.
Okay, like a yellowy or a white.
Yeah, I mean, don't you
sterile?
agree that if you have kind of a warm light, that's kind of a more formal, kind of a sophisticated.
Well, there's the brighter
feel.
the brighter they are, they seem it's more like for security, but
that's a good
the
point.
lower lumens, you're going to have a little bit more of a softer cast and a better feel around your walkways
just the
and your
feeling that you
pathways.
have out when you're at a party.
Yeah, because there's nothing more. I like a light. I'm lighting sensitive. My wife would tell you this. But if you're sitting down on a patio and you have a light shining right in your bright eye, some of the coach lights, things like that, which are nice. But I like a little bit more subtle approach, and so they're just not blaring right into your eyes. When you're sitting down.
But there is also that white light compared to the yellow light
Yes,
or the
yes.
soft
Yeah,
light,
right.
Which that white light, bright white light, kind of gives you that rigid, more modern feel.
Right. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I would agree
and
with that.
then the warm tones that you give you that kind of softness, that sophistication.
Right. Put you in the mood,
put you in the mood.
relaxed mood, to enjoy your time.
Have a glass of wine out there with your wife. Yeah.
Yes.
A couple of things.
Mood lighting.
Yeah, mood lighting. That's it.
When you talk about the backyard, the hardscape, the patio area that people are, have come to enjoy more in recent years for obvious reasons, it's amazing how sneaky they are because you don't really see where the light bulbs are. Like you're talking about, the glare isn't in your eye. It's so sudden or so subtle, it's almost hidden.
Right.
Yeah.
But yet it lights up the walk path. It's just gorgeous how you guys do that.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. And when I go down a path and the light has kind of a dome over the top of it on a path light instead of it blaring straight up, it's so much prettier to walk down the path like that.
Right.
So.
Then there's some moon lighting in the trees that are, you don't even see the fixture. We just did a project and, we had lit up some larger oak trees, and it seems like they're a little bold and too bright. So we're actually going to maybe put them up into the tree and do some moon lighting, which kind
that'd
of
be
silhouette
pretty,
the ground. Yes.
Yeah.
So when somebody, a client calls and says, "Hey, I want to do this to my home," is there a timer that's part of that system that's easy to run? We need it to be easy to run and set, so it's not burning during the middle of the day. Although LED lights are very inexpensive to run,
Yes.
electricity-wise. But is there an easy run?
It's
timer?
it's all on timers, and it's easy. You just set. You can put it on your phone and operate it off your phone as well. Like Light Logic has one that's a nice fixture that you can right off your phone.
Wow.
You can do anything off your phone
that's
anymore.
True. Yeah, just about anything. Yes.
Just like in your landscape planning, you have the 3D modeling stuff. Do you have a way for people to kind of get an idea or maybe see previous projects?
Yes. Yeah, we have a portfolio, full portfolio, and even in the 3D modeling, we can do it as well and show you,
what it looks like in the
beforehand.
evening and what it looks like in the daytime.
Yeah, it's amazing what they can do.
It's really pretty. It looks real,
Yes,
too,
yeah.
when you're looking at it.
Right,
so it's gorgeous. Yeah. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe. Ring the bell if you like our podcast or our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Well, as we continue to talk about landscape lighting, if you have not had your landscape professionally done, we do that here at Pacifically
Yes.
as well. And how cool would that be to have the landscape done professionally and also the lighting to accentuate that? There's some safety things. You want to get that next viral ring door video, right? Well, better lighting might come in handy for that. I mean, you see the crazy crap out there. You're welcome.
Absolutely.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's for sure.
What about the safety? Can you raise the brightness of it, or is there motion sensors as you're walking down a path? Can they pop on then, or?
There's a lot of motion sensor lighting
Yes.
that can be added into your landscape lighting, but
Yeah.
a lot of your landscape lighting are two different systems.
Right.
You know, you have your landscape lighting, then you have your security lighting. So
Right.
putting them together is a little bit more complicated, but they do that.
Yeah, that's and any landscape lighting you'll have, just it's on a timer, it's on a fixture, so
Sure.
it's,
Yeah.
comes on dusk to dawn if you want, or you can program it to have it come on at go off at 11, come on
Right,
at
right.
so.
Yeah, you definitely can tell the difference when you walk through. Now, the difference is, a lot of people have gone to the cheap solar lights and stuff like that. Those don't last forever. The batteries get corroded and that kind of thing. So this is a hardwired system, if I'm correct.
Right. That's
right.
And your crews, does it take a long time to get these installed? And you have to do it at night. Just
Well, you have to tweak it at night. Of course, we'll put it in the system, and we think we have it all angled right, and then the customer calls, or we'll go by that night, and we have to, move the fixture around a little bit. And
I thought we had one of those shade cloths that you could just hang up over the sun.
Yeah.
So you could do
Oh,
it
that's a
during.
good idea.
So you could do it during the day.
No, we're not there yet.
okay.
We're not there
We're
yet.
getting
no,
close,
you have
so.
to just you have to visually, visualize, the lighting, when you're doing it during the daytime. But it just takes a little bit of tweaking and just adjusting that fixture. And again, that's the key, to adjust the fixture that's gonna give it the right degree of angle of where the light's going to shine.
Sure.
And so it just takes time.
I do love the one when people are proud of their landscape and stuff, but when they show the house when it's lit up, like as you drive by and you see that gorgeous, it's a Norman Rockwell painting every time you see something because it's got this professional lighting.
Right.
You can't beat that. And again, we want to mention the safety part of it too. There's the stats out there about safety. It deters intruders. Kind of like you get a dog. But if you're not a dog person, how about LED lighting?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, there you go.
Nobody wants to be caught in that, right?
Yeah. And plus, you don't have to deal with the barking.
Right.
Exactly. So the installation process fairly easy, would you say? Though?
Yeah, there's tricks and tricks to the trade, but it's basically you got to have to bury that wire deep, so you don't if you're going to run it through in the lawn, you don't want to get damaged if you're going to aerate your lawn in the fall. And there's just tricks to kind of hiding that wire or digging it up underneath the sidewalk. So there's challenges to it, but for the most part, it goes in fairly simple, and it's best to do that if you're once you get your landscaping set. You're doing before you're mulching or putting down gravels is to get the wire set correctly, and then it's not as big of a hassle. But
Yeah. Plus, if Pasiglia's does the landscaping and the lighting.
right together,
Yeah,
that's
then
the key. To do it all at the same time. So
Yeah.
and there's savings in that as well. So if you're if we're doing the landscaping, it's going to be less expensive to do it then than it would be to come in afterwards. But still,
And then it's a little easier too to
Right.
lay it out.
Right.
As far trying to do it behind somebody else's.
Right.
Is a little tougher, and hiding all your wires and
right. We leave
getting
a
them deep enough.
Yeah, we'll leave a couple 3-4 feet of wire around each fixture, so that way when the shrubs mature, we can kind of move that fixture and give it room for growth. So that's a key as well.
I didn't think of that. That's
what we do.
That's pretty smart.
We think of everything.
Okay.
Or for those of you that trim the bushes yourself or the trees, bring the branches up. I guess that can be part of the maintenance moving forward in the next year or two down the road.
Right.
And these systems, I mean, when you buy LED light bulbs in the store, they say 50,000 hours. Right. I guess the length of time these will last is really long too.
It is, and then maintenance is important, you know. So we do provide maintenance with our maintenance packages. We'll come out and clean the lenses, and make sure there's no obstruction, there's no mulch sitting near the fixture or on the fixture, because there are safety concerns. But again, just keeping that fixture working properly and doing what it's supposed to do, because there's nothing worse than having a fixture off. You have a nice lighting job, and there's a fixture that's way off. So just maintenance, visiting the fixture once a year, at least once a year, and adjusting is key.
So I got a question for you. As far as keeping the lights in one place, do animals kind of, as they come through your yard, do they kind of change the location of your light, or is it pretty sturdy in there?
Yeah, they're sturdy. They come in heavy stakes, and you get those in the ground nice and deep. But again, they're easy to kind of adjust, and
okay, because I know those, just the solar lights you can buy and stick in the ground.
Right.
As the ground moves, the light moves.
Yes.
As animal comes through, you're always resetting them.
Right. Yeah. So. There's on the we were just at a rental place a couple weeks ago, and we spent half the time just picking up the solar lights that we were kicking around. But they have their place, and they're actually getting better. But but So.
I know I have some of them. I live out in the middle of nowhere, and. So I have a few of those little solar lights that I stick, and actually I kind of stick them in pots on my patio, stick them with the plants, because then I don't move them all the time. Where if I have them along the sidewalk or something, then the moles come through and move them, and
it's a nuisance.
Yeah, it's a nuisance. You know what? I ought to hire Pasiglia Nursery to come out and do my lighting.
You should. I'll give you a good deal.
Oh, right.
That would be cool. Light up your whole driveway coming in.
Employee discount.
Yes. You know it. Always, Julie.
So, you know what? Speaking of, because, some people live rurally and they want their lighting to, light up their big house or their garage or their landscaping. Is there any pushback from HOAs, or should people look at their bylaws? Because I lived in an HOA situation, homeowners association. Personally, not for me. Good for you if you are in it. But is there any regulations that one should be concerned with when thinking of the HOA?
Typically, we don't run into it as long as you're doing tasteful lighting and you're not, blaring into some neighbor's house. How your picture angle of your fixture is a key important component, and so it's going to enhance the neighborhood no matter what, and so we never get pushback.
Well, if there's any homeowners association presidents and landscape review boards listening, make it a law. You have to have beautiful landscape lighting.
There you go. There you go.
Trying to help here.
Right. You're doing a great job, Bob.
Hey, and don't forget to like and subscribe. We need those viewers.
And so, moving on, what's the first move that people need to make if they've, seen this episode of To the Root, or they've seen something online and they want to do it? What's their first step? Just to call you, or should they come in?
Either way.
Either way. But I think call. And just I think importantly, if your landscape, you like your landscape, because you don't want to light up a landscape that you don't care for, So, but you can just throw some uplighting on the house, and that's easy to do. But I think you got to look at everything as a whole, But
and when you call in, they can go over that on the phone with you, and that way when you do come in, you're prepared, so you have all the information you need and the information we need from you to bring in, so we can advise the right direction.
So, Chris, would you say there's a site survey, like you guys go out there and get an eyeball on it?
Yes, you have to. Yeah, I mean, with lighting, you have to do some sort of survey of either go off of a landscape plan that we provide for you, or just come out and if you just want lighting and that's all you want, we can do that as well. We just, of course.
And another question, because Julie, you're the plant expert. Are there certain plants that, because if you have lighting year round, you want some of the plants to be year round, beautiful. What are some plants that come to mind that
Japanese
you would recommend?
Japanese maples.
You must
Oh
say
my
that.
gosh, yes.
Right.
Japanese maples are great because they're just their structure and their architecture in the limbs. Anytime you light one of those up is just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
And okay, so
And it went in the winter. It's
Yes.
amazing.
Yeah.
So are they short? Do they grow into a tree?
There's many varieties of Japanese maples. I mean,
Okay.
they can be little dwarfs that only get about 3 foot tall,
Yeah.
up to ones at 20, 25 feet tall. So, and red foliage, green foliage, red bark.
Yes. The
you know.
dissectums, weeping Japanese maples. Those are
Yes.
amazing.
So,
Yeah.
upright, sweepers. There's so many different varieties.
And you have all the varieties here.
We have a lot.
Yeah.
We have a lot. Yes.
And so if you wanted those to be present during the winter months, is now the time?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, we're
well, you
reaching
want,
fall.
as far as planting them,
Yeah.
you can plant those any time of year. They're so easy to grow because they root in fast. They do root in fast. So,
Yes. Yeah.
biggest thing is, when you're planting during the hot, dry summer, you want to make sure that you're getting.
What hot dry season? I've never had one.
Oh wait, we're in St.
not-
Louis
yeah, we're
area.
not Arizona,
There's rivers all around us, right?
Right.
We're supposed to have lots of moisture.
Yeah, we need rain. Just not like rain we had this last spring. Just rain.
Yes.
Needs rain right now.
Amen to that. Amen. To that.
On Thursday, late afternoon, rain for about 3-4 hours. And then, sun shines again in the morning.
Perfect.
Sidewalks aren't wet. And it's just,
Perfect.
that's what we want.
Okay, so you hire Pasiglia to come and do your landscaping and do your landscape lighting, which is awesome. But let's say you still like to cut your own grass and weed eat and edge. What are some concerns?
Come to my house and do mine, please.
For practice. What would your advice be to people that have all this done for their place if they want to DIY it? Just be really careful, or do you guys point out where the wires are, where the lighting is, or is it pretty self-evident?
So DIY, if there was a DIY question, is that what you're asking?
Well, so that if the homeowner damages the lights, do we provide a plan on where the wiring
yes.
lays
Or
and
you
that kind of
inform
stuff?
them
We
where it
inform
is.
them. I mean, their plan has it.
Well, typically on if you're going to do any bed work, you're going to, wherever the fixture is, there's going to be lighting wire in the beds.
You'll
There's gonna
see
be,
it, yeah.
Well, there'll be lighting wire that stems off of that, and but if it's in the lawn, we dig those in deep, so you're in, 8 inches deep or so,
Yeah.
foot sometimes, but. So you're not going to harm it with an aeration machine or
Right.
Yeah, it's just great to
Right.
know where it is
Yes,
if you're
yeah.
adding to your landscape.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And then we provide a plan as well.
Yeah.
So
Which we've cut into a few lighting
Oh,
cables
yeah.
and
Yes, we
you
have over
but
the years.
boy,
Definitely.
can they repair them like that.
Haven't we all? Haven't we all? And it just makes me think that, for people that have irrigation systems in their yard, those are also planted deep. So it doesn't sound like there's a big threat to, if you want to weed eat or edge your yard or mow your yard, not going to be a problem. Or if you do hire companies to do that,
Right.
make sure you inform them.
Right.
Hey,
Yeah.
this is what we got going on, and they'll remember that stuff.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Right. Oh, sure.
Oh yeah. And especially once they're out there mowing your lawn, I've seen a lot of lawn mowing companies that will first walk the property and stick a flag.
Right.
Everywhere there's a sprinkler head,
Right.
or a light.
Yeah,
so if it's out in the lawn where they mow or weed eat,
Right.
So
Right.
it's usually not a big problem at all.
No, not at all.
Well, we definitely want to recap what we've done here because there's a lot of good information. Of course, if you're interested in landscape lighting, Pasiglia is definitely the place to go to. They do the plants, but they do the lighting
absolutely.
as well. They do
Right.
the hardscapes, right? You guys, if you have a dream,
Yeah.
you can do that.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, you need to come and see some of our photos and look at our website on their photos.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. We do,
Which
yeah.
we're updating some of those now.
Yes, we are.
But just the different array of landscape types and styles.
Sky's the limit,
Styles,
really.
yeah.
There's, we do it all.
Yeah. So, and then that landscaping, I mean, that curb appeal on that landscape lighting.
Right.
Oh my gosh, it makes a world of difference.
It really does.
And again, let's recap that. You will get that money back on resale, and if you're getting ready to resell, let's say in the next year or two, invest it now, enjoy it now. But when it goes to the market, on average, it's 5 to 10% more, just because it's that added classy feature to your home. Do you also do residential? Do you get that? I'm sorry, commercial properties?
We do light commercial and stuff, but mainly it's high-end residential in general.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So we just wanted to recap that. And again, there's good lighting and there's bad lighting, and that's why you want to leave it to the pros at Pasiglia, because they definitely know the difference, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and just kind of get a feel for how bright you want your light.
Right.
Kind of that warm light, or that what do they call it? Crisp, bright light.
Right. Right. A little soft lighting.
Yeah, soft lighting, or crisp lighting.
And I will say
I know Chris leans toward the soft lighting. It sounds like.
I do. Subtle. Yeah, and like when it comes to fixtures like pathways and path lights, I'm not real big on the real fancy ones. I just like the light's there for a reason, and it's for night.
That's why he gets really stressed out when we start hanging Christmas lights around the nursery.
Oh, I bet. but really, it is also for safety, so you can see where you're walking. I mean, everybody pulls their phone out and puts their flashlight on. No, just to pay attention.
Right.
And the lights are right there for your safety.
Right.
Again, I want to stress to you, because I've DIY'd 50% of stuff that I've tried and it just doesn't work.
Right.
If you bought landscape lighting and it's in your garage, coiled up, the wires are there, you're like, I'll get to it.
Right.
You know what? Don't even worry.
Right.
Call Pasiglia. They'll take good care of it, and it'll be done. How about that?
Oh,
Right.
yeah, and quickly.
Yes. Yeah. We can get in and knock one out quickly.
Yeah.
So
I'm the king of 95% done.
Yeah.
Just haven't quite plugged it in. Plus the DIY when it comes to the electrical. I mean, do you have to hire an electrician, or can your guys handle that stuff?
To put this outlet in, yes, we
Okay.
do, yeah, and make sure it's got the right ampage, and it's typically a dedicated circuit for that for the transformer.
Right. Well,
that we can install.
During this podcast, we've been able to show you some examples behind Chris and Julie, and hopefully it's inspired you, because when you stand outside at your house, maybe you're in the neighborhood talking to your neighbor and you look at their house and it's all lit up and it's beautiful, and then you turn around and yours looks like Amityville Horror. It's like, let's light it up, and Pasiglia can absolutely do that.
Yeah.
Mine would be ready for Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We find cobwebs, and my wife's like, they've been up since Halloween last year. That's what it is. But yeah, light it up. I think it's a great idea for all the reasons we've talked about. I would suggest getting a hold of Pasiglia right now. The website we can send them to.
What is it?
www.pasiglia.com.
Okay, that's easy
And
enough.
don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell. We're ready for you. Ready to do our next one.
And again, HOA landscape review boards and presidents, make sure you get this podcast out to all of your neighbors, so you can keep up with the Joneses and have your whole neighborhood looking beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, all these different angles. we
Yeah,
can go
and
with.
you know what? If we did the whole neighborhood on lighting, just think how we could accentuate the whole neighborhood.
Yes, lighten up everybody's life.
Yes.
Beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful.
There you go.
All right, well, thanks for watching and listening.
Thank you, Bo.
To the Roof. Chris Pasiglia,
Thank you,
thank you
guys.
so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Bill.
And thanks to our hair and makeup and catering crew, too.
Yeah. And our producer over
They
here.
miss me.